NERDBOXER Media. NERDBOXER was created to provide a platform and voice for Black intellectual males, particularly biological fathers. Though our content is aimed at Black males, we produce content that anyone could listen to. If there is an issue with us promoting a positive message to the Black American male, this is not the podcast for you. We will not ever entertain the idea of changing that stance. This podcast will have intervals of dialogue provided by myself and the smooth sounds of chill hop music. Proper credits for the music is located in the comments. That being said, welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. What's going on, y'all? It is Knowledge Rise with the Knowledge Rise podcast, episode 6, brought to you by NERDBOXER Media. It has been a joyful ride, everybody. I'm glad to be here. We are still rolling. We are still moving, broadcasting from the west side of the Portland, Oregon area. I have a few fans all across the country, as well as in Africa and the United Kingdom. Thank you for tuning in. Shout outs to my father. What up, Pops? You know I love you and appreciate you. Shout out to my mom, who was smart enough to marry a man that takes care of his family and never interfered with the lessons my father taught me. Shout out to all the men who have been great fathers. Shout out to all the men that support community empowerment. Shout out to my young brothers that's getting it right, being responsible, respectable, and ambitious. Shout out to my young basketball and football players. I'd much rather you be shooting the basketball than shooting dope in your veins. Shout out to all the fathers' rights groups on social media and in real life. The influence is growing, and I noticed that we are beginning to wake men up. Much respect. Rest in peace to all the fathers who couldn't handle the pressure and ended their lives. Please rest peacefully. I'd like to give a shout out to Thoughts Men Aren't Supposed to Think, T-Mast, also Thoughts Women Aren't Supposed to Think. You can find both groups on Instagram as well as Facebook. Shout out to my Instagram family and everybody else who's contributed to the show indirectly or directly, voluntarily or involuntarily. I thank you. I thank you for all the information you provide. I couldn't do this without you. Coming up next is some music by one of my favorite producers. His name is Boonie Mayfield. This track is called Nautical Dawn, off the album Black Kool-Aid.
And I remember things. I remember the way it began. I remember the way it was in the beginning.
Yes, you are listening to the sounds of Boonie Mayfield, and that track was called Nautical Dawn off his album Black Kool-Aid. And this episode, we're going to touch on the Mastermind group. A Mastermind group also known as a peer advisory board, is a peer brainstorming, accountability, and support group that facilitates success. When we hear the term advisory board, we may immediately think of men and women in a corporate office. In actuality, it's a collection of people who bring different concepts and ideas, but who all wish to learn from their failures, hold themselves accountable, support each other, and expand their networking capabilities. A business owner would have a mastermind group. So would an athlete who is about to go to college or turn pro. Community leaders have mastermind groups, as do students in school. Any group of people you meet or speak with on a regular basis could be a mastermind group. I myself resisted developing a mastermind group when I first started my business. This was out of necessity because I had grown tired of waiting on others to get things done. As time progressed, I realized that ambition was good, but it wasn't great. I needed the power outside of my own mind to embrace new concepts and ideas. Since then, this podcast has picked up steam. I am moving things along at a pace that I'm proud of. Mastermind groups aren't always business talk. They help bring clarity to things that may frustrate you. Having someone who can support you but hold you accountable whether you like it or not is what separates progress from stagnation. A mastermind group can lend knowledge effectively rather than you spending time trying to find it all out yourself. If you don't have a mastermind group, take some time to write out a list of people you respect mentally and professionally. See about getting them all to meet for coffee, lunch, or dinner sometime. Trade ideas and make plans to meet the next week to see what become of those plans. In fact, it'd be a great time to challenge each other to choose one thing you can improve on that you've struggled with. Come back the next week and spread the knowledge that you've learned and ask questions on things you don't understand, and maybe find the solutions together inside or outside the group. Up next, we got a track called Warmup by an artist by the name of JHFLY. Once again, that was a track called Warmup by an artist by the name of JHFLY. Up next, I want to talk about a serious topic, that topic being men's health. We take our health for granted. We men in the Black community constantly hear about gun violence. However, gun violence isn't in the top 5 killers of Black men. The top 5 killers in the Black community are abortion, heart disease, cancer, stroke, accidents, diabetes, and lower respiratory diseases. Outside of abortion, which is a voluntary act, the other causes of death have been at these levels for decades. Many Black celebrities have died before their time because of their health. Robin Harris died of a heart attack. John Singleton died of a stroke. B.B. King had a series of small strokes due to his diabetes. Bushwick Bill has just been diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer. There are also the diseases that aren't all that common. J Dilla, the man who produced the music you hear right now, died of a cardiac arrest but battled with lupus for years before he passed. J Dilla suffered a bit before he passed. There was a comment on YouTube under this track that hit me kind of hard. It said, "I saw Dilla at Jazz Cafe in London in late 2005. The whole night it was just hype man and MCs asking the DJ to spin J Dilla beats with no sign of the man. During the last beat of the night, we noticed a couple of guys carrying a weak-looking man down the stairs that led onto the stage, then placed him onto a wheelchair. 'Everyone give it up for Dilla,' shouted out the guy on the mic. You could see how much he loved being there, but the man looked so tired, just slumped in his chair while bedroom producers and the DJs in the crowd, most of whom grew up on his music, were fighting for a chance to throw their mixtape CDs on the stage. He didn't have the energy to collect them, just give the crowd an apologetic, thankful look. A few weeks later, news came out that he succumbed to a rare disease and lost his life at the age of 32. Every time I hear this tune, originally made for Proof of D12 fame, an MC who is no longer with us, it puts me in such a somber place, and it just reminds me of how precious life is and how thankful we all should be for this life we're given. Whew. To all the men out there, we must take our health seriously. I didn't talk about this to dampen the mood, but to simply open the eyes of all of us to the bigger picture of life. There's so much life to live. We should eat better, drink more water, eliminate toxic relationships, build with each other, get more exercise, make positive changes in our life, be better people, be better neighbors. There's more to life than partying and acting young and looking young. You don't want to be one of those people who live to be 60 and 70 years old and suffering day in and day out because in your younger years you chose not to eat right, drink right, live right, be around good people, and eliminate the toxic relationships that were in your circle. Carrying those things do not make you a man. It most certainly doesn't make you happy. You'll never in your life experience inner peace if you live your life unhealthy. We are what we eat. And if we eat like crap, we are crap. We live like crap. We think like crap. Everything in our lives will be crap. We'll go out our way to put makeup on things and make it look good, but internally, it's crap. We have to stop eating the crap. We have to leave that fast food alone. We have to leave the soul food diet alone. It's high in salt, sodium, and it's just not good for you. It's not doing anything for us. It's made our grandmothers, our aunts, our grandfathers, uncles, older cousins, younger cousins, everybody has been affected by death because of the way we eat and the way we live and the way we do not exercise. We are always finding ways to get out of working out or exercising. We don't want to walk up a flight of stairs. There's just a lot we don't want to do. But then when I sit and think about how J Dilla passed away, he lived his life living, delivering beautiful music. I don't know what his eating habits was, and I'm not going to speculate, but I will say if he could speak to us, he would agree with everything I'm telling you right now. Eating better means living better. Appreciate your life by taking care of yourself. Rest in peace to J Dilla and everyone else who's lost their life to bad health. One of the best ways we can improve our health while we are here is walking. It's something that we've been doing since about 1 year old. I encourage all of you to walk as often as possible. Whenever you can, do so. Walk safely. Walk. Walking is good for the body, and it also saves you money. Instead of buying gas, bus fare, or an Uber, you can walk for free. You won't put that much wear and tear on your vehicle, less insurance costs because you don't drive as much. You're helping out the planet with less pollution. And most of all, you are burning calories and keeping that blood flowing. There's so many positives to walking. Don't just sit all day. Get up, move. Walk to the store instead of driving. Walk to your friend's house instead of calling. Run and play with your younger family and the kids in the neighborhood. If there's a basketball goal out there, go take a couple shots with them. Your future self will thank you for it. You don't want to be one of these 50-year-old people watching people that are older than you run and lift weights and know it was because of you and your inability to get up and move around and at least walk. It helps your joints, it helps your bones, it helps your muscles, it helps your mind, and like I said, it helps your wallet. You spend a lot less money when you're walking. For you guys that like to go on dates, I'm sure you tell a woman that you're gonna walk the whole night, you won't be going on dates as much, therefore spending your money less and spending less time doing nothing. I'm just kidding. But on the real, man, seriously, fellas, we need to get up off our butts. We need to get rid of the gut. We need to get rid of the thought process that thinks that just because you're a little husky, that's sexy and that's healthy, and it's not healthy. As I told you about those men who have died of heart attacks, I've never known them to be models of health. Not saying they were unhealthy, but seeing how they went out, it's pretty obvious that health in our community needs to be looked at a lot closer. I'm not telling you to jump out here and eat like a rabbit right away, but I am telling you a rabbit doesn't deal with the health issues that the Black American community does. A lot of other communities don't deal with the rate of death that we do, and I believe it's attributed to our lack of walking and our poor diet. But one more time, get up, walk, save that money. Use those bones like you've been using since 1 year old. Even if it's just a walk to the end of the street, get up and walk, stretch those legs, move around, get that blood pumping. Speaking of getting up, moving around, and getting that blood pumping, we got a track by my man, Boonie Mayfield, and it is called Moog Soul. I want to motivate the men out there to start looking out for your female family and trusted friends in a different way. Not saying you haven't been doing it in the past, but I want to get it out there and kind of motivate us to actually be the protectors we're supposed to be. What I mean is making sure they are prepared for emergency situations. Yes, we live in a world of independent women that don't need a man, but as a man, you still should motivate your female family to remain prepared at all times. There are things like jumper cables and emergency kits for their vehicles, batteries, water, snacks in case if the car breaks down, or even roadside assistance for the ladies that have the big SUVs. Also, emergency kits for the home that have first aid, batteries, radio, flashlight, water, first aid kit, medication, clean sets of clothing, extra batteries for the cell phone, and chargers. Solar panels are also a good idea. You want to have fire escape plans and drills with your family. Show up randomly sometimes with a coordinated effort with the parents of the house and perform a fire drill to make sure kids know where to go and how to move when bad things happen. Also, there's natural disaster preparation if you are in a flood zone, or if it's hurricane season and you're along the coast, or if you're on the west coast and you're in an earthquake zone. Having knowledge of what to do and how to do it when things go down will prevent a lot of bad things from happening. Again, I can't stress enough, you want to have extra battery power, whether it's your phone, your flashlight, your radio, whatever it is. Having extra batteries will save you a lot of heartache. Also, having candles is a very good idea. When the lights go out, being able to light a candle and bring light to a room can help you in more ways than one. If you have a 2-story home, you can get a fire escape ladder that can be attached to the window. Nobody wants to be sitting out the window waiting for somebody to put up the fire ladder. If the fire is right behind you, you have a much better chance of safely getting down with the help of a ladder that is specifically designed to help people in the time of need. These are just a few of the ideas that I came up with for this show. This is not by any means the end all or the best way to get it all done. There's also things like MREs, there are blankets, and there's a myriad of things. I suggest you get on the internet as well as talk to your friends and family and ask them the things they do. Having a prepared house is having a safe house. Too many years we live not thinking about these things. Fire alarms, the batteries, are they old? Are they up to date? Are they any good? Will they break down after so long? We need to check these things. Or the dryer lint thing, or do you have too much in? All of those kind of safety precautions that men and women tend to forget, but our females have not actually been taught by the males in our community how to protect themselves for the most part. Yes, we do have our unicorns that can change a tire and change oil, but we know that is not the standard until it is the standard. Fellas, take some time to visit your female family members. If you know they don't have jumper cables, run to Auto Parts and get her a $20 set, preferably a longer set. 8 feet may be good, but if there's a 10-foot, that's even better, just in case the batteries are on opposite sides of the vehicles, but there's only one place to park. There's so many different ways you can go. You can visit your local fire station. They have great information. If you have good police officers in your community that you can trust, they are great sources of information. People that have been in the military have great information. People who love to go camping have great information. So ask around and get as much information as you can, as fast as you can, the best way you can, and always practice, always maintain, always keep an inventory, always make sure things are where you put them. This is not to scare you. This is just me being a man, helping men think about the things we need to plan when bad things happen. Outside of that is episode 6, everybody. I do appreciate you all being here. I'm really enjoying this experience of delivering this podcast to you, for all the negativity around, as well as the negativity I do have inside myself. Sometimes it feels good to come here and not have to bring any negativity through the microphone and into your ears. You can listen to this with your grandma in the car, your wife in the car, your kids in the car, nephews, even the pastor from your church can hear this show. You'll never have to have your finger on that volume button hoping that I don't say something because you haven't had a chance to screen the show. No, this is a family-friendly show. This is a demonstration on how a black man can talk about responsible things without being irresponsible with the words he chooses to use. This proves that black men can be articulate and talk about things that matter and that are important and are not rooted in the stereotypical conversations you hear in the black community. Once again, shout out to all my black fathers. Shout out to all black men, black males, black boys, and men in general who are in the community doing the things they need to do. The more responsible men we have in our communities, the safer things are, the better things are. The happier our families are, the stronger our families are, the cleaner our communities are. Less stress, less fighting, less bickering. Fellas, we need to stand up on our own 2 feet, but first we must stand on our own 2 feet, then stand together as a unit. It's not going to be an easy task. There's a lot of things we need to work out amongst each other, but it does start with us being able to look at each other and speak to each other without being disrespectful, putting positive things into our ears as well as things that could be negative, with solutions being the end game. As always, I want to remind you to go out and get Mr. Racine McGee's book series, So Frail, both parts 1 and 2. They can be found on BookBaby, Amazon, as well as Barnes & Nobles. As a reminder also, Petals from a Black Rose has some great skincare products, especially the soaps. I have used their Florida water soap for the first time earlier in the week. I will be doing a review on that as well as their body mousse and lotions on the next podcast. You can find them on Instagram and Facebook under Petals from a Black Rose. One word, no caps, no underscores. Mr. Jerome is a great man to do business with, and their products are amazing. I use them myself, and I am now on a weekly ordering schedule. Yes, it is that good, ladies and gentlemen. Also, we are about 2 weeks away from our own book releases. The book titles Masculine Engineering, Rebuilding the Foundation of Masculinity, as well as the book Black Males, Misandry, The Broken Home, will be available May 30th, 2019. You can pre-order your copies at NERDBOXER.com. Also, the next episode, we are going to have Jay Norman from Thoughts Men Aren't Supposed to Think on the show. He will be the host for our Masculine Engineering Conference that will be held in Portland, Oregon on or about October 2019. Other than that, thank you for listening. Have a great week, month, year, and lifetime. Please be safe, drive safe, do not drink and drive, leave the drugs alone, abandon the gang life, do not date toxic women. This is Knowledge Rise for NERDBOXER Media. Visit us at nerdboxer.com. Peace.